Section 71. You are listening at novelfull.audio. As students of the Heavenly Tao Holy Academy, it is necessary to help each other, not to mention that my good brother is also there. At this time, the effect of the Jade God Lotus of Good Fortune was reflected. As a top-level auxiliary martial soul, its healing effect is stronger than Qingchen's five-colored deer. Qingchen, who ranked third in the National Martial Arts Examination, is because of her twin martial souls. It's just that both of the two martial souls have only 6 soul slots, otherwise Qingchen would not be at the top of the list. In the case of twin martial souls, the judges are still more inclined to the top talent of 7 soul slots. As for the other supreme martial soul with only 1 soul slot, sorry, the examiner is just an ordinary person and doesn't know it. At this moment, for white jade-like lights entered the bodies of everyone, and Yushan and Zhenyu couldn't help shouting. Awesome! That the two women moaned and also felt the powerful ability of the Jade God Lotus of Good Fortune. This is the healing ability of Qingchen's Jade God Lotus of Good Fortune, which can restore soul power and mental power at the same time. It can also heal some ordinary injuries. As for whether the healing ability will change with the improvement of realm, Qingchen is not very clear for the time being. Except for Yushan, the other 3 looked at Qingchen with gratitude. This light made Ningyu and Zhenyu, who were almost unable to hold on, full of hope again. Qianhua looked at the two with admiration. She didn't expect that the freshmen of this year were quite united. They are all classmates in the same college. Although they are also competitors, there is no need to be too hostile. At least for now, everyone is in the same camp, and the senior management of the college still appreciates this approach. Besides, this consumption is nothing to Qingchen. He knows right from wrong very well. As the momentum and mental pressure became heavier, Qingchen inevitably released the Golden Crow martial spirit. After the martial spirit possessed him, he felt that the pressure suddenly became much lighter, but Qianhua was not feeling so good at this moment. Chapter 82 The Terror of the Golden Emperor Dragon. At the moment when Qingchen released the 3-legged Golden Crow martial soul, Qianhua's entire spiritual sea of consciousness trembled instantly. A burst of extremely blazing breath gushed towards the Dean, and even the spiritual power in the void seemed to burn up. At this moment, Qianhua seemed to be facing not Qingchen, who was in the spiritual realm, but a mythical creature that could burn everything in the world. The Dean of the Holy Academy had heard about Qingchen's awakening of the Supreme Martial Soul, the 3-legged Golden Crow, but she didn't expect the Supreme Martial Soul to be so terrifying. With such a powerful cultivation, she almost suppressed the momentum she released. After Qingchen released the 3-legged Golden Crow martial soul, the other 4 felt that the pressure on their bodies was much relieved, but it only lasted for a moment, and the mental pressure and momentum like the tide continued to press on everyone. At this moment, Qingchen, who released the 3-legged Golden Crow martial soul, felt that the pressure on his body suddenly eased a lot, so he began to silently comprehend the power of heaven and earth contained in the 3-legged Golden Crow martial spirit. Immersed in it, Qingchen felt that he was in a sea of fire. Looking up slightly at the divine bird standing proudly in the sky, Qingchen's expression could not help but become a little dazed. Burning flames emanated from Qingchen, and in a moment, Qingchen turned into a fireman. However, these flames did not cause any harm to him, and they also dispersed some of the pressure brought by Qianhua. However, the few people standing next to Qingchen at this moment were not so comfortable. Yushan and Zhenyu, who were standing next to Qingchen, only felt that the temperature around them continued to rise, and even exceeded the limit they could bear. Then the clothes of the two began to burn, but because Qianhua's mental power and momentum were still suppressing, the two could only bite their teeth and endure it. You two go back and change your clothes first, and come back later. Seeing that the two people's clothes were burning less and less, Qianhua withdrew the suppression of mental power and momentum, and said speechlessly. At this moment, Ningyu and Qingchen also felt the extremely hot breath. Fortunately, the forces behind them were quite good, and the materials of the clothes on their bodies were very good, otherwise it would be very embarrassing. Yushan and Zhenyu screamed "Ah-ah-oh," wearing the burning clothes and ran towards the lake of the academy. At this time, 2 ice blue lights fell from the sky, and the flames burning on the 2 people were gradually extinguished. The Dean standing on the clouds looked at the situation below speechlessly. The 2 ice blue lights just now were the result of Han Meng's attack. It's worthy of being a supreme martial spirit. It's really blessed by nature. It touched the edge of the law so quickly. Yes, it's not like us who have to slowly comprehend the law in the late stage of the Zunwu realm. This is going against the sky. Li Yanqing and Long Feng on the cloud sighed to each other. Han Meng stared at the apprentice who was still suppressed by Nangong Qianyue's mental power, fearing that Lu Qingchen would have an accident. As if she had thought of something, Nangong Qianyue cast her eyes towards the people on the cloud. Seeing her eyes looking at him, Lu Qingfeng smiled helplessly, then turned into a stream of light and fell beside Nangong Qianyue. Come over here. Seeing that the temperature around Lu Qingchen was getting higher and higher, Lu Qingfeng said to Murong Qingqing and Mu Ningyue. The two women quickly ran towards Lu Qingfeng. After withdrawing the mental suppression of the two women, Nangong Qianyue began to observe Lu Qingchen's situation one-on-one. At this time, the 10-meter radius where Lu Qingchen was filled with blazing flames. Under such high temperatures, space begins to distort at a speed visible to the naked eye. It was estimated that it lasted for close to a quarter of an hour, and these burning flames returned to his body one after another. After the flames completely entered his body, a heat wave swept away from Lu Qingchen's body in all directions. Lu Qingchen, who closed his eyes and silently felt the martial spirit, felt like he had caught something. This feeling of being in harmony with heaven and earth has never happened before, making him feel like he could burn everything with just a wave of his hand. Carefully observe the internal conditions of your body. Lu Qingchen found a red gold seed the size of a dragon's eye in his dantian. This red gold seed slowly rotates in the dantian, seeming to be absorbing the fire spiritual power between heaven and earth all the time. Before Lu Qingchen could carefully feel the usefulness of this seed, Nangong Qianyue felt an even stronger aura and mental pressure than before. This momentum was nearly 10 times stronger than before, so much so that Lu Qingchen, who had been standing straight just now, instantly bent down, gritting his teeth. Lu Qingchen slowly stood up straight and bent down just now. At this moment, his clear eyes had turned into golden vertical pupils, and there was only endless majesty in those golden dragon pupils. After standing up straight, Lu Qingchen's pair of dragon eyes directly met Nangong Qianyue's gaze. The moment she looked at Lu Qingchen, Nangong Qianyue felt as if she was facing a very majestic emperor. The cold and majestic gaze even made the powerful dean of the Holy Academy feel a hint of fear. The other supreme martial spirit in the body, the Golden Emperor Dragon, seemed to sense Lu Qingchen's will and roared in the martial spirit space. Roar! A roar came from Lu Qingchen's mouth, like the roar of a dragon above the 9 heavens. The mental pressure that Nangong Qianyue put on him was interrupted instantly. Nangong Qianyue, who had just looked into Lu Qingchen's dragon eyes, felt like she was almost blind. He had just recovered at this moment, and then another violent and wild dragon roar came from his mind. As the top being of the true dragon clan, the Golden Emperor Dragon is so terrifying. It is rumored that when the Golden Emperor Dragon reaches adulthood, its roar can even break the sky and make all creatures in the 8 wastelands tremble. Nangong Qianyue, who had endured 2 frontal dragon attacks in succession, could no longer hold on at this moment. Due to the collision of mental powers, Nangong Qianyue's mind was in chaos at this moment, and her delicate body was even more shaky. Seeing Nangong Qianyue with a look of pain in front of him, Lu Qingchen quickly took back his martial spirit. Quickly coming to the side of this stunning woman, Lu Qingchen gently supported her to prevent the dean from falling. Putting a pair of jade arms on Lu Qingchen's shoulders, Nangong Qianyue seemed to be feeling better with a point of support. Seeing Nangong Qianyue in this state, Lu Qingchen felt very guilty, so he quickly directed a green light towards Nangong Qianyue, which was the holy healing power he had recently obtained from the soul beads. Hearing only a sound, the shaky Dean Nangong's mental state slowly recovered. Chapter 83 3 Martial Spirits. 9 Heavens Dragon Roar. Nangong Qianyue, who had just recovered, reacted instantly and quickly pushed the handsome young man in front of her away. A pair of eyes stared at Lu Qingchen with resentment, and a blush appeared on her pretty fair face. Fortunately, it was covered by a veil, so no one saw anything, but the sound made at the moment when he was treated by the holy healing magical power was clearly captured by Lu Qingchen. Lu Qingfeng, who was not far away, happened to see this scene and quickly removed his mental power from suppressing the other 4 people. Then he came to Nangong Qianyue and asked with concern. Section 72. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Dean, are you okay? I'm fine. I just had a small accident. Just take a rest and you'll be fine. Seeing that Di Nangong said it was okay, Lu Qingfeng returned to the other side. What are you looking at? If there is anything interesting to see, if you can hurt me like Lu Qingchen, then you will be considered powerful. Lu Qingfeng, who returned here, couldn't help laughing and cursing when he saw the 4 freshmen at Yushan stretching their necks to look at Nangong Qianyue. Then he continued to release his mental power to suppress everyone, above the clouds. After seeing the scene just now, Long Feng and others wanted to go down to Lu Qingchen to ask clearly, however, considering that Nangong Qianyue's 3 days of training were not over yet, she could only wait anxiously above. Did you feel the coercion just now? Was it Long Wei? Long Feng asked the 2 people next to him with his eyes widened. I don't know, but the roar seems to be the roar of a dragon. Li Yanqing on the side said with some uncertainty. Han Meng, did you feel this kind of aura when you were with Lu Qingchen before? You asked me, didn't you all watch when I trained him before? After glaring at Long Feng, Han Meng said angrily, she didn't quite understand what happened to her apprentice. Are there really 3 martial souls in this world? The roar just now was obviously the roar of a dragon. When he heard the dragon roar just now, Han Meng's body inevitably trembled. Although he did not bear the dragon's roar head-on, the dragon clan is the supreme race among mythical beasts. It has a certain degree of suppression against any beast spirit. Thinking of this, she, like Long Feng, couldn't wait to go down and ask for details. What happened to that sound just now? 6 figures fell down, and they were the seniors of the academy. It was the one-armed old man who spoke, and the other 5 looked at Long Feng with solemn expressions on their faces. Come with me first, and we'll change places. Before he finished speaking, Lu Qingchen felt like he was in another place. You should go to the training room to understand what you just realized. I will be here in a moment. After Nangong Qianyue said a word, she walked straight to a room. After the dean left, Lu Qingchen began to observe his surroundings. This is clearly a great place to live. There are many flowers and plants in the courtyard, all of which are brilliant. A strong fragrance and spiritual power hit my face. These are obviously not ordinary flowers and plants, but some elixirs planted here. Is this the courtyard of Di Nangong? Lu Qingchen thought so in his heart. Looking at so many elixirs in front of me, I couldn't help but feel itchy in my heart. Purple vine, psychic flower, star grass. Lu Qingchen carefully distinguished various plants, and his saliva was about to flow out. These are all good things. But at this moment, Lu Qingchen didn't dare to think too much because he accidentally hurt Nangong Qianyue just now. Let's go to the training room first, he thought to himself. Walking into the hall, Lu Qingchen took a glance and found the word cultivation written on one of the doors. When he opened the door, he saw that the walls of the entire training room were inlaid with a kind of stone that contained spiritual power. The rich spiritual power surged into his body without even practicing. He quickly closed the door and sat cross-legged, then closed his eyes while practicing and gaining enlightenment. The roar he just made seemed to be very powerful. Could it be the inherent ability of the Golden Emperor Dragon? Thinking of this, Lu Qingchen thought and opened the information panel. Host, Lu Qingchen, Martial Spirits, Sun Golden Crow, Golden Emperor Dragon, Good Fortune Jade God Lotus, Realm, 8th level of Awakening, Mental Power, Haoyuan 9th level, Kung Fu, Burning Heaven Sacred Code, Emperor Dragon Immortal Body, Creation Jade Pure Heart Sutra. Divine Power, Holy Healing, Golden Holy Eyes, Wash Away the Lead, 9 Heavens Dragon Roar, Magical Power, Fire, Dragon, Not Activated, Rule, Burning Silence, Items, Donghuang Bell, Small Creation Pill *1, Burning Sky Divine Seed, Soul Seed, Star Refining Cauldron, Soul Stone Star. Could the sound he made just now be considered a magical power? It should only be regarded as an ability that comes with the martial soul. Regarding the information given by the system panel, Lu Qingchen found that it was not particularly accurate. In addition to the 2 magical powers obtained by absorbing the soul beads, the Golden Holy Eyes cannot be controlled for the time being. As for the 9 Heavens Dragon, it seems that it can only be released after being possessed by a martial spirit. My mental power has been raised from the 7th level of the Bright Moon Realm to the 9th level. Wait, what's going on with that law? Lu Qingchen looked a little solemn when he saw 2 more words in the information on the panel. Could it be related to the little red gold seed in my dantian? Quickly observing the situation in the dantian, the red gold seed as big as a dragon I was spinning constantly. After communicating with the red gold seed with his heart, Qingchen stretched out his hand, and a flame emerged. With a wave of his arm, the flame turned into a firebird and shot forward. Just as he was about to hit the wall in front of him, Qingchen quickly withdrew his spiritual power, and the firebird disappeared instantly. Is this the power of the law? A single thought can communicate. The fire attributes spiritual power between heaven and earth. Suddenly recalling the star grass he had just seen in the courtyard, Qingchen quickly took out a large cauldron from the system space. This tripod is very huge, with the sun, moon and stars carved on the body, and the inside of the tripod is full of mist. Qingchen took out the star grass he had exchanged from the resource hall before and threw it into the big tripod. He filled the tripod with water, waved his hand, and a small flame burned under the tripod. He closed his eyes and jumped into the tripod. Qingchen silently began to operate the Emperor Dragon immortal body. Just now, when Dean Nangong was exerting mental pressure on Qingchen, this student suddenly let out a roar. We all heard it, but we are not sure whether it was the sound of a dragon roar. That's probably what happened. Seeing that several seniors from the academy asked about what happened just now, Long Feng could only explain patiently. Chapter 84 Emperor Dragon Immortal Body. The dean's little thoughts. After listening to Long Feng's explanation, several seniors from the Heavenly Tao Holy Academy also looked solemn. Sanchen Wuhuan, if this student grows up, who will be able to compete with the Heavenly Tao Holy Academy in the future? Thinking of this, one of the burly old men couldn't help but ask Long Feng. According to what you said, this student's martial spirit must have something to do with the dragon martial spirit. Yes, judging from that majestic roar, it is most likely an extremely powerful dragon martial spirit. Long Feng nodded affirmatively, and then smiled helplessly. But the specific situation still needs to be asked to this student in person. At this point, a group of people looked down at the clouds. Fuck, where are the people? They were just down there. Qingchen and Nangong Qianyue, who were just on the ground, have disappeared. Only Qingfeng and the other 4 freshmen are still training. Nangong Qianyue is lazily leaning in the bathtub made of black ice, with a dazed look in her eyes. Just now, she was directly subjected to the dragon roar of Qingchen. In addition to the confusion in her mind, she also had a layer of cold sweat all over her body. However, the bottleneck that had been motionless for a long time seemed to be somewhat loosened under the dragon roar. This change made Nangong Qianyue feel a little surprised. It is too difficult to break through at her level, not to mention that it is a breakthrough on the spiritual level. Section 73. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Unlike others in the academy, Nangong Qianyue can accurately judge that Qingchen's other martial spirit is definitely a pure dragon martial spirit, and the quality of the martial soul will definitely not be lower than the 3-legged golden crow. Because except for the pure-blood dragon clan martial spirit, no martial spirit can make a Lingwu realm student burst out with such powerful pressure. I just don't know which kind of pure-blooded true dragon it is among the dragon spirits. The thought of Qingchen having 2 other martial spirits made the well-informed Dean Nangong unable to help but complain. Perverted, so perverted. Thinking of the sound she made when she was being treated, Nangong Qianyue couldn't help but blush slightly. She was originally the one training these freshmen, but in the end it was herself who made a fool of herself. It was so shameful, but fortunately, the mental bottleneck has been loosened a little, which can be considered a comfort. Qingchen was suffering from great pain at the moment. Since ordinary flames could not harm him at all, he could only use his own Golden Crow Emperor flame to temper his body. The Golden Crow Emperor flame was burning under Qingchen's control, and the water in the star refining cauldron had already boiled. While gritting his teeth and enduring the burning of the high temperature, he activated the Emperor Dragon immortal body and began to practice silently. After gradually absorbing the star grass one by one, a dragon pattern gradually appeared on Qingchen's body. It's just that the dragon pattern that emerged is not very obvious, and is slightly dim. Seeing that the essence of the elixir in this cauldron has been gradually absorbed, the dragon pattern is still slightly dim. It seems that cultivating the first level of the Emperor Dragon immortal body requires more resources than I thought. Qingchen seemed to feel that the essence of the elixir in the cauldron was gradually exhausted, and there was a slight look of disappointment on his face. Calm down, stop thinking, and continue practicing. A clear and sweet sound sounded, and dozens more star grasses were added to the star refining cauldron. The person who came was none other than NaN EP80. She had just finished taking a bath and was about to ask Qingchen about Wuhuan, but she didn't expect to see this scene in front of her. Seeing that the essence in this cauldron was about to be exhausted, he quickly picked all the star grass in the courtyard and put it into this big cauldron. Feeling that the star refining cauldron was filled with energy again, Qingchen continued to run his skills and absorbed them crazily. After a quarter of an hour of continuous absorption, until the last bit of elixir essence was absorbed, the dragon pattern finally became brighter. After gently stretching his limbs, Qingchen heard a crackling sound. Is this the power of the first level of the Emperor Dragon's immortal body? It feels so good to be full of power. Qingchen only felt that his physical body was at least 10 times more powerful than before. If she were to fight Lan Xiao now, she would probably be beaten to tears with one punch. Thinking of this, Qingchen couldn't help but grinned. Just as Qingchen was daydreaming, a cold voice brought him back to reality. Can you put your clothes on first and then giggle? NaN EP80's clear and sweet voice came, frightening Qingchen. Fortunately, the cauldron was big enough. From the outside of the cauldron, only Qingchen's strong and bulging chest muscles could be seen, but NaN EP80 just glanced at it and immediately turned her face away. I'll wait for you in the courtyard. Seeing her leaving, Qingchen quickly got dressed. Feeling the powerful body, I couldn't help but feel a little excited, one step closer to the realm of kings. After walking out of the training room and passing through the living room, Qingchen went straight to the courtyard. There is a stone table in front and several stone chairs next to the stone table. NaN EP80 was sitting sideways on the stone chair at the moment, with her legs crossed, outlining her sultry curves. Seeing that Qingchen had already put on his clothes and came out, he pointed to the stone chair next to him and motioned for him to come and sit down. There was a hint of refreshing fragrance in the air, and Qingchen inadvertently turned his eyes to NaN EP80, who was playing with her black hair. This was an incredible sight. The golden dragon pupils opened almost instantly, making Qingchen quickly turn his head in fright. Damn it, what kind of magical power is this and why does it always release automatically? Seeing Qingchen suddenly turn his head, NaN EP80 asked with some confusion. What are you doing? No, I just suddenly thought of something. Qingchen responded and quickly sat down in front of the stone table. I just didn't dare to look up and look at the dean in front of me. Tell me what's going on. Looking at Qingchen, who was lowering his head, NaN EP80 asked casually. What? Qingchen, who was still recalling the erotic scene just now, didn't react for a while. Don't pretend to be stupid for me. What happened to the dragon power you exuded before? And why are your eyes turning golden? Seeing that NaN EP80 asked such detailed questions, Qingchen couldn't hide it anymore. At the moment, I can only say honestly. That's my other martial spirit. I didn't expect that my eyes would turn golden after being possessed by the martial spirit. NaN EP80 breathed a sigh of relief when she met the young man in front of her who didn't hide herself. If he doesn't tell the truth to himself at this point, there is really no hope of becoming a disciple. Then you have 3 major martial souls. The third martial soul is a dragon-type martial soul, right? Seeing that Qingchen was telling the truth to herself, NaN EP80 asked further. Nodding gently, Qingchen looked into her moist eyes and replied. Yes, Dean. Seeing that he answered so straightforwardly and did not hide anything from her, NaN EP80 suddenly stood up from the stone chair, leaned over and whispered something in Qingchen's ear. Then are you willing to be my disciple? Chapter 85. Each has his own thoughts. Come back. NaN EP80's breath was like orchid, and her soft voice sounded in Qingchen's ears. Boom. Qingchen's mind suddenly became blank, as if he had received a 9 heavens dragon roar head-on. He never thought that NaN EP80, who was just asking about his martial soul, suddenly proposed to accept him as a disciple. Looking at the charming and moist eyes and delicate face in front of him, Qingchen was inexplicably reminded of Han Meng, who helped him absorb the soul bead. From that time when he teased his master slightly to now, Qingchen's ears are almost always long on one side and short on the other. Seeing this peerless face in front of him that overwhelmed everyone, Lu Qingchen almost couldn't help but stretch out his claws again. Both deans are extremely beautiful, one is cold and arrogant, the other is lazy and charming. There are so many students and even teachers in the academy who regard the two deans as their dream lovers. Now both deans want to take him as a disciple. If the students and teachers in the academy know about it, I don't know how envious they will be, but in the end, he still held back. Lu Qingchen looked at the pair of seductive eyes and didn't know what to say for a while. Nangong Qianyue, do you still have shame? An ice-blue figure walked out of the void, and her exquisite face was covered with dark clouds. The person who came was Han Meng. Originally, Han Meng and several others were hiding in the dark to eavesdrop on their conversation, but she didn't expect Nangong Qianyue to dare to say in front of her that she wanted to take Lu Qingchen as a disciple. How could Han Meng bear it? So this scene appeared in front of her. Oh, what wind blew Dean Han here? He came to my residence without saying hello to me. Hearing this, Nangong Qianyue frowned and couldn't help but mocked lightly. You, seeing Nangong Qianyue's mockery, Han Meng's pretty face turned red with anger. And you, don't think I don't know you've been here for a long time. Nangong Qianyue continued to speak to the void, except for Li Yanqing who fell from the void. The rest of the people walked out of the void. For a moment, the spacious space of the courtyard seemed to become crowded. Seeing the dozens of people suddenly appearing in front of him, Lu Qingchen's mouth twitched. Fortunately, he didn't say anything, otherwise, with the current state of the master, he might really have to clean up. The door, seeing Han Meng's pair of ice-blue eyes full of anger, Lu Qingchen couldn't help shuddering. So many people come to my residence, it really makes me feel honored. Section 74. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Seeing so many people appearing in front of her, Nangong Qianyue said with a smile. Everyone's expressions changed immediately after hearing this. This kind of behavior is indeed not very honorable. We were also afraid that the dragon roar just now would hurt Dean Nangong, so we planned to come and take a look. Long Feng spread his hands and said helplessly. It's a bit unkind of Dean Nangong to do this. He plans to accept apprentices in advance before the apprenticeship ceremony. Nangong Qianyue's expression did not change after hearing this, and she just responded lightly. Is there any rule in the academy that prohibits accepting apprentices in advance? As soon as these words came out, everyone was speechless and choked. Besides, how do I know if you will also accept apprentices in advance? Nangong Qianyue said with a sweet smile, but her eyes fell directly on Han Meng. Seeing Nangong Qianyue's eyes looking at him, Han Meng suddenly didn't know how to refute. If you really follow what you say, then you won't be the first to break the rules. As soon as Nangong Qianyue finished speaking, the atmosphere on the field couldn't help but become heavy. For such a genius with 3 martial souls, no matter which dean or even the seniors in the academy want to accept him as his disciple, not only for the future of Tiandao Holy Court, but also to greatly increase the chance of a breakthrough in the future. Everyone knows that a genius like Lu Qingchen may not emerge in tens of thousands of years. Your future achievements will definitely be higher than everyone here. If you accept him as a disciple, wait until he succeeds in cultivation. What are the benefits? The first thing I must think of is my master. Seeing that everyone was silent and looking at each other, a senior from the college couldn't help but come out to smooth things over. I don't think these issues are important for now. The important thing is to first ask what kind of martial spirit this student is and how to prepare for the next trip to the secret realm. As soon as these words came out, everyone nodded, and they also felt that the trip to the secret realm in a few days was the most important, so everyone turned their attention to Lu Qingchen. Tell me, what is your martial spirit? Under the scorching and expectant gazes of everyone, Lu Qingchen still did not clearly reveal his martial spirit. He just answered a few questions from everyone casually and perfunctorily. So many seniors and deans could only return to their respective residences with complicated emotions. As for what they have in mind, no one knows. As they left, apart from Lu Qingchen, only Han Meng and Nangong Qianyue were left in the huge courtyard. Why aren't you leaving, Dean Han? Do you want to stay at my place for dinner? Hearing Nangong Qianyue's words, Han Meng glanced at Lu Qingchen and then left. The farce was finally over. Lu Qingchen scratched his hair with a headache. Just stay here with me for the next 2 days to practice. Anyway, having one more person will make things more lively. No longer bothering with the issue of apprenticeship, NaN said to Qingchen with a sweet smile, so in the next 2 days, Qingchen did nothing but practice in the training room. It was to endure NaN's mental suppression in the courtyard, but this time NaN gave him a serious warning not to release the Golden Emperor Dragon spirit. NaN, you are so strong. After enduring nearly 5 hours of mental and aura suppression, Qingchen said weakly, withdrawing the suppressed mental power. NaN walked straight to one of the rooms. Qingchen lay down directly on the ground in the courtyard. After 2 days of training in mental and aura suppression, Qingchen's mental power finally broke through to another level. After lying on the ground for a while, Qingchen saw NaN walking over with a few small plates. Let's eat some together. Qingchen looked at the beauty in front of him in surprise. He didn't expect that the dean could cook. The meal was a bit dull, and both of them chewed the food in their mouths absent-mindedly. NaN was sipping the soup in small sips, while Qingchen was hesitant to speak. Dean NaN, I will leave in a moment. After brewing for a long time, Qingchen couldn't help but speak. Oh, then let's go, NaN said nonchalantly, and then continued to sip the soup in the bowl. Seeing that her expression did not change at all, Qingchen stood up from the chair somewhat heavily and walked slowly towards the door. Return. Seeing Qingchen walking further and further away, NaN suddenly spoke. Chapter 86. Don't die. About to depart. Qingchen, who heard the voice, slowly turned around and saw a beautiful figure standing behind him, taking off a necklace made of crystal from the snow-white jade neck. NaN gently put it on Qingchen. This is a spiritual defensive secret treasure. It is slightly different from other secret treasures. It is trigger type. Once you suffer a spiritual attack, it will sense it in advance and protect your sea of consciousness to avoid harm. Having said this, NaN Qing's watery eyes stared at the young man in front of her. Also, don't die. Before Qingchen could speak, the charming dean had gradually disappeared. Looking at the disappeared figure in front of him, Qingchen opened his mouth, as if he wanted to say something, but after all, he didn't say it out loud. After these 2 days of contact, Qingchen had some understanding of NaN NaN has a very quiet temperament and doesn't care much about anything, just like her master. Apart from teaching him, he spends the rest of his time either practicing or playing with some flowers and plants in the courtyard. It's like a delicate fragrance coming from a necklace made of crystal. If you look closely, you will see that there are many mysterious patterns carved on it. Unlike other treasures, this necklace does not have a trace of spiritual energy fluctuations, as if it is an ordinary necklace. After holding it in his hand and playing with it casually, Qingchen took a deep breath. I opened the door and left the courtyard filled with the intoxicating fragrance of flowers. As soon as Qingchen walked out of the door, he found a beautiful figure waiting for him outside. Seeing Qingchen come out, Han Meng hummed unhappily. You are still willing to let it go. I thought you wanted to stay with her forever. No. Qingchen touched his nose and said with a guilty conscience. Come with me first, I happen to have something to tell you. As if seeing Qingchen's guilty conscience, Han Meng glared at him and said, so the two slowly came to another courtyard. You told me before that your third martial spirit was the Golden Emperor Dragon. Han Meng said with some uncertainty. Qingchen nodded, and then a golden dragon shadow appeared behind him. The Golden Emperor Dragon spirit slowly appeared, followed by an ancient and wild aura. After staring closely at Longing for a few seconds, Han Meng signaled Qingchen to take back his martial spirit. How many people currently know that your martial spirit is the Golden Emperor Dragon? Han Meng asked seriously. For now, I will only talk to you, Master, and Dean NaN. Qingchen lowered his head and said with a guilty conscience. Seeing Qingchen's appearance, Han Meng almost laughed out of anger, but fortunately, she is not an unreasonable person. NaN was very helpful to her apprentice, and it was okay for Qingchen to tell her. Thinking of this, the beautiful master said seriously to his disciple. What you did is right. You really shouldn't tell others the type and name of your martial spirit easily. After all, there are many kinds of dragon spirits. Even among the dragon clan, pure-blooded true dragons have different abilities. Although they are all deans and seniors of the college, they must be on guard against others, even if they go to the secret realm. Listening to what Han Meng said to him, Qingchen felt a little warm in his heart. I know, Master, and I won't reveal it to others at will. Section 75. You are listening at NovelFull.audio. Seeing that his apprentice listened carefully, Han Meng nodded with satisfaction. By the way, there are several seniors in the academy who should have some friendship with the holy city of life. At that time, you may be asked to take care of Qingchen in the secret realm. Just deal with it casually, don't pay too much attention to it. Your own safety and interests are the first priority in the secret realm. Looking at Han Meng's extremely serious eyes, Qingchen nodded slowly. Of course, his own safety is the first priority in the secret realm. If Qingchen can be helpful to him, he would not mind helping her, but the opportunities and natural treasures in the secret realm must depend on their own methods. He would not give these up to others foolishly. I've almost told you what I need to say. It's getting late now, so you can stay here tonight. I'm going back to rest first. I'll take you to a good place tomorrow morning. After saying this, Han Meng walked straight into a room. Qingchen found a clean room at random and lay down with his eyes closed. He had not rested for 6 days. When I woke up, it was almost dawn. After getting up and washing up, Qingchen sat in the living room and waited for Han Meng to get up. About half an hour later, Han Meng's room opened, but her condition is not very good at the moment. Qingchen clearly saw that her face was pale and her lips were slightly purple. There was even a cold aura emanating from his whole body. Master, what's wrong with you? Seeing his master like this, Qingchen quickly walked to Han Meng and asked. There was just a little problem during last night's practice, it's nothing serious. Seeing Qingchen's concerned look, Han Meng waved his hand and said softly. As soon as he grabbed Han Meng's jade hand, Qingchen felt a cold feeling coming from him. A sacred healing channel was shot out to Han Meng, and then the burning heaven sacred scripture was used to slowly inject the soul power into Han Meng's body. Han Meng was just about to break away when he suddenly felt a warm breath coming from his hands, so he stopped struggling and stood silently. A quarter of an hour later, Qingchen let go of Han Meng's slender jade hand. Master, are you feeling better? Han Meng only felt extremely warm all over, and the cold feeling on his body just now had completely disappeared. Much better, let's go. He smiled tenderly at the apprentice in front of him, and then the two figures disappeared. We still came to Qingchen Pavilion, but this time it was not the 3rd floor, but the 1st floor, to be precise. It's the bottom of the 1st floor, under the arrangements of the senior leaders of the academy. Qingchen, Yishan and other 5 people will practice on this spiritual vein in the last few days. Looking at the crisscrossing spiritual veins in front of him, Qingchen was almost dumbfounded. Brother Chen, it's just you. Come over and practice quickly. Seeing Qingchen coming, Yishan quickly waved to him. At Yishan's signal, Qingchen came to a place with relatively strong spiritual energy. Then he began to frantically absorb the spiritual energy contained in these spiritual veins. For days later, everyone's body exuded strong spiritual power fluctuations, and they all broke through. Seeing that he was still far away from reaching the 9th level of Lingwu, Qingchen said to everyone. Let's go out first, we are going to the secret realm today. After hearing his voice, several people's expressions froze. They all walked out of this good place with rich spiritual power. Chapter 87 set off. Tianzu's secret realm, the 1st floor of Qingchen Pavilion. At this moment, the 1st floor of this small attic was already full of people. They are all looking forward to where these new students can go. Yenchen, guess what level these little guys can reach after these few days of training? Long Feng was chatting with Li Yenchen with a smile on his face. They will probably all break through to the 5th level of spiritual martial arts. It is even possible to reach the 6th and 7th levels. Li Yenchen thought for a moment, and then spoke seriously. I told you, kid, can't you take a guess at higher places? Dean Chu on the side heard his answer and shook his head helplessly. I hope they can gain something from this trip to the secret realm. A senior from the academy side. I heard that there is a saint-level inheritance in this secret realm. In addition to the 3 famous schools, there are also people from the 3 major temples participating. Leaving aside the other two prestigious schools, it is extremely difficult to seize the saint-level inheritance from the disciples of the temple. After hearing what the senior said, Lu Qingfeng responded, I really don't understand how people in the temple, who obviously have holy-level skills, still insist on sending disciples to the secret realm. What will the other forces in China do? Li Yanqing said angrily. It could be seen that the temple's actions made the dean feel ashamed. Patting Li Yanqing's shoulder, Long Feng said with a smile. This is normal. You are already a grown man, so why don't you understand? The world of martial arts is about the weak and the strong. Which force doesn't want to make itself stronger? I know, I just feel a little sorry for these little guys. If it weren't for the people from the temple, these little guys would definitely be able to shine and gain something. Li Yanqing said with some reluctance. While everyone was chatting, figures came out one after another. It was Lu Qingchen and others who had finished their cultivation. When the seniors and deans present saw that they finally came out, they couldn't help but cast their eyes on these freshmen, the 6th level of Lingwu, the 7th level of Lingwu, the 7th level of Lingwu, the 7th level of Lingwu. Everyone's eyes swept over Zheng Yu and others in turn, and they couldn't help but be a little surprised. One is at the 6th level of spiritual martial arts, and 3 are at the 7th level of spiritual martial arts. When their eyes fell on Lu Qingchen, they couldn't help but widen their eyes, the 8th level of Lingwu. And it's not just the 8th level of Lingwu, it's just one step away from reaching the 9th level of Lingwu. The soul power fluctuations in Lu Qingchen's body at this moment were extremely powerful, clearly far superior to others in the same realm. After seeing the cultivation of these students, the only ones present were Nangong Qianyue and Han Meng. Everyone else felt a bit of surprise. Not bad, not bad. After an old man felt their realm, he held his hands and laughed. Ahem. If you have anything else to say, please do so as soon as possible. We are about to set off. Seeing Lu Qingchen and others coming out, Long Feng cleared his throat and said to everyone. Just when he finished saying this, the field suddenly became quiet, but there were sounds coming from Lu Qingchen's ears. It turns out that they all communicate through sound transmission. The secret realm you are going to this time is called the Tianzu Secret Realm. I heard it was a battlefield in ancient times. There are countless evil spirits inside, which are all formed by the condensed resentment after the death of creatures on the battlefield. After a few minutes of silence, Long Feng suddenly spoke. So in addition to paying attention to students from other forces, you must also be careful of these evil spirits in the secret realm. It is said that the highest level of evil spirits in the secret realm can even reach the Emperor's realm. You must be careful. The evil spirit of the Emperor realm. Isn't that the same state as the deans? A chill rose from the hearts of Lu Qingchen and others. This is no small matter. If they encounter an evil spirit from the Emperor realm, they won't be able to escape even if they have 100 legs. However, most of these evil spirits are in the spiritual martial realm, and those high-level evil spirits basically guard some heavenly and earthly treasures. Section 78. You are listening at novelfull.audio. The 3 of them have been doing well since they awakened their martial spirits, but the meaning of what the dean said was very clear. Kill people and rob treasures without mercy. They had never killed anyone before, and their hearts were shaking violently at this moment. Are they really so cruel for a little opportunity? These are all living people. Long Feng glanced at their changes in expression lightly, and with his vicious eyes, he instantly saw through the thoughts of these 3 people, but he didn't care. Anyway, they would understand after this secret realm. Lu Qingchen, I hope you can take care of the 3 of them if you have the ability after entering the secret realm, especially the 2 little girls Morong Qingqing and Mu Ningyue. The forces behind them are extremely huge. Maybe they can bring you some help in the future. Chapter 90 Innate Magical Power. Secret Realm opens. Long Feng did not tell the 5 people at the same time, but sent a voice message to Lu Qingchen alone. It can be seen that the dean values Lu Qingchen very much. Nodding slightly, Lu Qingchen said that he understood. Lu Qingchen has his own judgment on what to do in the secret realm. It's okay to take care of them a little without damaging their own interests. At this moment, the 7 students of Monster Academy all had blank expressions, quietly waiting for the opening of the secret realm. As for why there were 7 students, it was because the Alchemist Association behind Monster Academy also sent 2 people to participate. The 2 deans were also chatting and laughing with each other, and they seemed to have no worries about the students participating in the secret realm this time. Just a few minutes before the secret realm opened, a figure walked out of the void. It was the Tianyang Palace Master who came to Tiandao Holy Academy to inform Long Feng. Since everyone is here, let's prepare to open the secret realm. 3 rays of light emerged, and people from the Flame Temple, Thunder Temple, and Ice and Snow Temple were all present. Everyone on the field looked curiously in the direction of the temple people at this moment. They were also very curious about the top forces in China. The man in the Flame Temple had short red hair, a face like a sculpture with distinct features, and a tall, thin, and handsome figure. The fiery red temple robe made him look like a fire god. At this moment, the red-haired man was smiling and saying to the person next to him, "Lei Heng, I didn't expect that the Thunder Temple would let you go to the secret realm this time. It seems that this secret realm is not simple." After hearing the red-haired man's words, the man called Lei Heng snorted coldly and said, "Yan Hao, don't think I don't know that you Flame Temple attaches great importance to this secret realm. I will not hold back if I meet you in the secret realm." Yan Hao smiled indifferently at Lei Heng's words. The person who entered the secret realm of the Ice and Snow Temple this time was a young girl in a white long skirt, tall and plump. She had a straight nose, long eyelashes, and a delicate long skirt that outlined her willow waist with an attractive curve. Unlike the people from the other 2 temples, this young girl did not speak after she appeared. At this moment, she glanced at the various colleges around her. When she saw the Monster College, the girl couldn't help but frown. The sight shifted, and when the girls saw Long Feng and Han Meng from the Heavenly Tao Academy, a hint of surprise flashed in her eyes. "Hello, Dean Long, Dean Han." The girl from the Ice and Snow Temple came to the Heavenly Tao Academy with a brisk pace and saluted slightly. Long Feng nodded to her with a smile, and Han Meng asked in surprise, "Elan, why did the Ice and Snow Temple send you this time? Do you want to enter this secret place?" "Yes, Dean Han." Nodding slightly, the young girl responded. Lu Qingchen and others on the side looked at the 2 deans with some confusion. How could the disciples of the Ice and Snow Temple know the 2 deans, and they looked quite familiar. Her name is Elan. She was admitted to the Heavenly Tao Academy last year and became a core student, but later she was taken in as a disciple by the Deputy Hall Master of the Ice and Snow Temple. I coached Elan for a while when she was in the academy. Seeing the puzzled eyes of Lu Qingchen and others, Han Meng explained, "So that's how it is." Lu Qingchen and the others nodded and greeted the disciple of the Ice and Snow Temple, and Elan also smiled at them, and then asked Han Meng with a little doubt. "Dean Han, are the 5 of them participating in the Heavenly Tao Holy Academy this time?" "Yes, although their realm is not high, they are all very talented, and the Academy wants them to come and experience it." Han Meng had guessed in Elan's doubts. Lu Qingchen and the others' realms are indeed not high, and Zheng Yu is even only at the 6th level of Lingwu, so it is normal for an Elan to be curious. "By the way, Elan, why are you still at the 9th level of Lingwu? According to your cultivation speed, it shouldn't be." Han Meng suddenly asked, as if she had thought of something. "Actually, I don't want to either, mainly because the magic power of the temple is not suitable for me. So I want to try my luck in this secret realm and see if I can find my own life magic power." To be promoted from Lingwu to Diwu, one needs to practice a magic power as his own life magic power. The innate magical power will become more powerful as one's cultivation realm breaks through. For advancement to the earthly martial realm, the more powerful the magical power one cultivates, the better. And the master also said that this secret realm has not been explored, and the chance of soul seeds appearing is very high, and he also wants me to try my luck. Seeing Han Meng and others nod, the young girl continued. When they heard the soul seeds, Lu Qingchen and others' eyes condensed. They all knew how precious soul seeds were. Although Lu Qingchen had a burning god seed, he had 2 supreme martial souls. He was still short of 2 soul seeds. If there really were soul seeds in this secret realm, it would be a pleasant surprise for him. At this moment, an ancient altar slowly rose. Life and death in the secret realm are determined by fate. No matter what happens, the major forces are not allowed to pursue it. Those who violate the rules will be subject to the judgment of the temple. Now please ask all the emperors to take action together and follow me to open this secret realm." That the old and majestic voice of the Tianyang Palace Master came. After hearing the words of the Tianyang Palace Master, the emperors present took action one after another. A series of strong spiritual powers hit the ancient altar. After about a minute, the ancient altar emitted colorful light. A rumbling sound came from the void, and a space crack slowly appeared. As soon as this crack appeared, the whole world seemed to begin to twist. The crack became larger and larger, gradually forming a colorful vortex. "Now enter the secret realm," that the Lord of Tianyang Hall shouted to everyone present. After hearing the voice, many people present no longer hesitated and rushed into the vortex. "The exit of the secret realm will be opened in a month, and you will be randomly teleported to various places at that time. Be prepared." At the last moment when everyone rushed into the secret realm, only this voice was heard: "Will the exit be opened in a month?" Qingchen thought to himself, and then a feeling of dizziness came. The colorful vortex lasted about 30 seconds. After everyone entered, these emperors stopped the spiritual power transmission. Without the support of spiritual power, the vortex gradually disappeared, and finally turned into a space crack and disappeared. All the deans can go back now. The exit of the secret realm will be opened in a month. At that time, these students will randomly appear in any place in China. Please be prepared. After an unknown period of time, the feeling of dizziness disappeared, and a bright light appeared in front of Qingchen. The next moment, Qingchen landed steadily, and he had arrived at the Tianzu secret realm. Chapter 91 Holy Medicine, 7-leaf agave. After landing, Qingchen looked around for the first time. Fortunately, there was no danger for the time being. There were dense forests all around, and unknown ancient trees were tall and straight. The branches and leaves were lush, and almost all of them were more than 100 meters high. It seems that this secret realm has existed for a long time, otherwise these ordinary trees would not have grown so tall. Qingchen thought so in his heart, but his figure quickly ran in a certain direction. Just when he was thinking just now, he felt a huge spiritual power fluctuation in the southwest direction. Chapter 79. You are listening at NovelFull.audio. This place is obviously an ancient forest, overgrown with weeds, almost reaching the height of a person. Qingchen flashed quickly in the weedy jungle like a vigorous harpoon. With his terrifying speed, in less than 10 minutes, he was close to the place where there was a huge spiritual power fluctuation. While sneaking, Qingchen had already activated the magical power to wash away the lead. At this moment, his breath blended smoothly with the forest, making it difficult for any creature to detect it. Roar! There were two huge figures confronting each other in front of them, and one of the tiger-like beasts was the first to roar. The golden hair is like armor, emitting bursts of golden light under the sunlight. Two huge eyes glowed with a dark green color, and two huge teeth protruded from the mouth, flashing with sharp cold light, and the appearance was extremely ferocious. Golden-armored saber-toothed tiger. Qingchen figured it out almost instantly, because before coming to the secret realm, Qingchen read many ancient books about heaven, material, earth treasures and the secret realm. Those ancient books record many ferocious beasts that have appeared in the past, and the golden-armored saber-toothed tiger in front of me is one of them. The most obvious feature of the golden-armored saber-toothed tiger is its golden hair and two terrifying teeth. The hair is as hard as armor, and ordinary swords, guns, swords and halberds cannot harm it at all. As for the two saber teeth, they are even more terrifying. They are extremely sharp and can easily penetrate into the bodies of other ferocious beasts. At this moment, this terrifying creature is staring eagerly at the blood-red ape-like beast in front of it. This ape-like ferocious beast also has a ferocious appearance, with outward-turned teeth, making it extremely ugly. A pair of blood-red eyes glowed unabashedly with a fierce light. Blood Demon Ape. Another extremely powerful beast. At this moment it was waving a huge long stick in its hand, which seemed to be an ancient tree that had just been pulled out of the ground. Facing the provocation of the golden-armored saber-toothed tiger, he seemed a little irritable, but he refused to take a step back, so the two giant villains kept confronting each other like this, refusing to leave this place. Seeing that the two ferocious beasts refused to give in, Qingchen's heart moved and he began to observe the surroundings. There must be something here that attracts these two ferocious beasts, otherwise they wouldn't have been confronting each other here and refused to leave. The golden-armored saber-toothed tiger looked more like an intruder, while the blood demon ape looked more like he was guarding something. Thinking of this, Qingchen glanced behind the blood demon ape. Sure enough, a colorful elixir that looks like a dragon or a snake is dancing in the wind, exuding waves of strong medicinal fragrance. 7-leaf agave. Qingchen's eyes lit up. This was a rare elixir that could only be found in a century. This elixir is extremely precious. It only takes 100 years to grow a leaf, and it takes a full 700 years to mature. When mature, this elixir will transform into a holy medicine. Almost all the holy medicines recorded in ancient books can bring life to the dead, including flesh and bones. Thinking of this, Qingchen carefully observed the agave plant behind the blood demon ape. After careful observation, Qingchen discovered that the agave was not fully mature yet. The last leaf is obviously smaller than the other 6 leaves. The 2 ferocious beasts were obviously aware of this, and both looked at each other warily. But Qingchen is not in a hurry. This agave will mature in less than half a day. He had no intention of letting go of a rare holy medicine like this. At this moment, his body was lying lower, completely blending into the dense weeds. Fortunately, they had the cover of the magical power of wash away all the lead. Otherwise, with the powerful realms of the golden-armored saber-toothed tiger and the blood demon ape, it would have been impossible not to detect the arrival of other creatures nearby. Call out! Call out! Call out! Just as the 2 ferocious beasts were confronting each other, Qingchen suddenly noticed several strong auras coming from around him. Someone is coming. Qingchen reacted immediately, but his body still maintained its original posture. Of course, the golden-armored saber-toothed tiger and the blood demon ape also noticed a few extra auras around them, but they were both very weak. Therefore, the 2 ferocious beasts chose to ignore it. Such weak cultivation would not have any impact on them at all. Senior Zhou, look, there is a colorful elixir there. That a thin young man seemed to have discovered something. His eyes lit up and he pointed at the agave plant behind the blood demon ape and said to the people next to him. Hearing the voice of this thin young man, the young man in white clothes called Senior Zhou looked in the direction of his finger. Seeing that there was indeed a colorful elixir behind the blood demon ape, the young man in white clothes instantly became ecstatic. You two go stop those 2 beasts for a while, and I'll grab the elixir and then distribute it. The man in white said to the other 2 young men beside him. One of the square-faced young men said hesitantly. Senior Zhou, these 2 ferocious beasts are very powerful at first glance. I'm afraid the 2 of us are no match for them. Seeing that the square-faced young man did not want to cooperate, the young man in white who was called Senior Zhou took out a fiery red sword from the storage ring and gave it to him. This is the weapon the Dean gave me for self-defense before the secret realm opened. It's a senior-level sword. You can use it to lure away these 2 beasts. The square-faced young man's eyes lit up and he quickly took the fiery red sword without questioning the man in white's decision. Watch my gestures and actions later. You just need to attract the attention of the 2 beasts. I will get away as soon as I succeed. Hearing the words of the young man in white, the other 2 men nodded repeatedly to show that they understood. Now, the young man in white waved his hand, and the 2 men next to him shot out instantly and attacked the 2 beasts. With the confidence given by the venerable spiritual weapon, the square-faced man shouted at the golden-armored saber-toothed tiger. Beast, give me your life. The long sword was swung out, and a red sword light instantly slashed towards the golden-armored saber-toothed tiger. This move can be said to have instantly broken the confrontation. As soon as the sword light fell, it was dissolved by the golden hair on the golden-armored saber-toothed tiger. Roar! Provoked by such a weak creature, the beast roared and rushed straight towards the square-faced man. Chapter 92 3 Fierce Beasts. The winner. A strong wind came. Although the golden-armored saber-toothed tiger was huge, it was extremely fast and swooped over almost instantly. The square-faced man looked at the golden-armored saber-toothed tiger's open bloody mouth and trembled for a moment. Without dodging, the next moment, the beast's huge sharp teeth bit the square-faced man. No! Save me! The square-faced man screamed. The next moment, Qingchen only heard a click, blood gushed out, and half of the body fell to the ground. Another thin young man, because of his slower speed, just saw the death of the square-faced man. The 3 of them were students of an ordinary martial arts university, and had never experienced such a bloody scene. In addition to practicing, they usually only exchanged with students of the same realm, and they were all just enough. At this moment, seeing the square-faced man's body broken into two pieces, the thin man was so scared that he almost dared not move. With a snap, the blood demon ape's huge palm slapped down, and the thin man turned into a pile of meat paste. The young man in white, who was called Senior Joe, had come to the side of the seven-leaf agave, feeling the strong medicinal fragrance of this spiritual medicine. The man in white had a greedy light in his eyes. Without hesitation, the man in white grabbed the root of the agave tightly, as if he wanted to pull it up by the roots, but he obviously miscalculated. After pulling it several times, the spiritual medicine did not move at all. Seeing that the two beasts were already rushing towards him, the man in white quickly let go and retreated decisively. He obviously wanted to escape. Ah! A blazing flame swept over. Before the man in white could escape, he screamed and turned into ashes in an instant. A terrifying demon bird was hovering in the sky at this moment, and the flame just now was emitted by this beast, and Qingchen saw the whole process of the death of these young men. At this moment, his face was indifferent, and his heart was as calm as water. This is the difference between the three famous schools and ordinary martial arts universities. Qingchen could not only accurately distinguish the realms of several beasts, but also did not even blink his eyes in the face of such cruelty. Ordinary students of Wuda University obviously could not do this, especially the square-faced young man, who was so scared that he even forgot to dodge when facing the attack of the beast. As time passed, the medicinal fragrance of the agave became stronger and stronger. The confrontation situation just now had been broken, and at this moment, the three powerful beasts had already started fighting. The roars of beasts and the calls of birds resounded throughout this ancient forest, and the blood of the three beasts had already dyed the ground blood red. One by one, the 100-meter-high trees had been broken with the fight between the three beasts, and Qingchen quietly approached the agave in this situation. However, he did not plan to pick the holy medicine immediately, but waited for the opportunity. Section 80. You are listening at novelfull.audio. The ferocious bird in the sky opened its mouth and spit out a huge flame. As soon as the flame landed on the blood demon ape, it burned violently. The blood demon ape felt pain and howled wildly, and a pair of blood-red eyes revealed a terrifying ferocious light. With a strong kick of its sturdy legs, this huge ape-like beast had amazing jumping ability and instantly jumped 100 meters high. With a swing of the long stick in his hand, the blood demon ape hit the ferocious bird with all his strength. The fiery demon bird suffered such a heavy blow, and with a wail, its huge body fell to the ground. The golden-armored saber-toothed tiger saw that the fiery demon bird was seriously injured, and immediately pounced on it, and a pair of huge sharp teeth pierced the neck of the ferocious bird. Blood sprayed like a spring, and this powerful fiery demon bird flapped its huge wings and struggled wildly. The frequency of the wings flapping gradually decreased, and the fiery demon bird finally let out a shrill cry, struggled twice and stopped moving. The golden-armored saber-toothed tiger's pair of saber teeth were covered with blood, and a huge tiger claw stepped on the back of the fiery demon bird. The dark green in its eyes flashed, and it roared to the sky, and then pounced on the blood demon ape that had just landed. The blood of the fiery demon bird completely stimulated the ferocity in the golden-armored saber-toothed tiger. At this moment, it rushed towards the blood demon ape with an indomitable momentum, clearly wanting to quickly end its life and then eat the agave alone. However, the blood demon ape was not easy to mess with, and the death of the fiery demon bird just now had a huge relationship with it. Seeing the golden-armored saber-toothed tiger pounce, the blood demon ape swept the long stick in his hand, hitting the golden-armored saber-toothed tiger to roll over. But the golden-armored saber-toothed tiger's defense is so strong, and the name of golden armor is not for nothing. The blood demon ape's attack did not cause any damage to it. The long stick continued to hit down, and the golden-armored saber-toothed tiger could not get close for a while. A burst of golden light rose from the beast, and the golden-armored saber-toothed tiger was completely furious after suffering losses one after another. Relying on the defense of the golden armor, the tiger beast resisted several attacks and quickly rushed towards the blood demon ape. The golden-armored saber-toothed tiger was indeed terrible in close combat, and its bloody mouth accurately bit the blood demon ape's neck. The blood demon ape felt pain and screamed wildly. It instantly threw away the long stick in its hand, and a pair of millstone-sized fists hit the golden-armored saber-toothed tiger's abdomen wildly. But even after suffering such a fierce blow, the tiger beast held on tightly and refused to let go. The two beasts were deadlocked for 5 minutes, and finally the blood demon ape's waving fist fell down weakly. It died. Roar! The victorious golden armored saber-toothed tiger roared to the sky. It was the biggest winner in this battle. Puff! Just when the golden armored saber-toothed tiger was most proud, a pair of golden claws pierced its chest. It was howling towards the sky just now, but it could not make any sound in an instant, and a pair of huge tiger heads slowly turned around. When it saw a weak human in front of it, a trace of unwillingness seemed to flash in its dark green eyes. However, it did not attack the weak human, because it was about to die. After making a last roar, the huge head of this powerful golden armored saber-toothed tiger fell down weakly. Qingchen looked at the dead powerful beast coldly, without any mercy in his golden pupils. Just when the beast pounced on the blood demon ape, Qingchen had already relied on his magical power to slowly approach it. No matter what kind of creature will relax its vigilance, even a beast is no exception. After defeating two beasts of the same realm, this golden armored saber-toothed tiger has put down all its defenses. Knowing the horror of this beast, Qingchen did not dare to hold back at all, and the golden emperor dragon martial spirit instantly possessed it. The golden claws flashing with cold light instantly pierced its chest without any defense. He even crushed the still beating heart directly. Walking slowly to the side of the seven-leaf agave, Qingchen smiled. In this battle, he was the final winner. Chapter 93 Lingwu Ninf level. Enemies meet. Walking to the seven-leaf agave, Qingchen first observed whether there was any danger around. After confirming that there was no danger, he took out a shovel from the storage ring and prepared to dig out the holy medicine. The rhizomes of the seven-leaf agave were countless and had long been connected to the land. The previous attempt by the young man in white to pull it out of the soil was a complete joke. After digging to a depth of 1 meter, Qingchen dug out the holy medicine with its rhizomes and planted it in a jade pot. Before going to the secret realm, the academy gave each of them 10 space storage rings with a total of 100 cubic meters. There were many containers for natural treasures in the storage rings. However, Qingchen had the system's own storage space, so the storage-type spiritual tools did not have much use for him. With a thought, he put the holy medicine into the system's space. Compared with the storage ring, the system's own space is safer, and no one can detect it. After putting away the seven-leaf agave, Qingchen returned to the golden armored saber-toothed tiger. A golden bead had slowly risen from the golden armored saber-toothed tiger's body and was suspended in the air. Soul bead. When Qingchen saw the golden bead, his eyes suddenly lit up. He quickly took out a jade box from the storage ring and carefully put the soul bead in it. Then he put the whole body of the beast into the system space. Although it was only a beast of the Zunwu realm, it was also extremely precious, especially the two sharp saber teeth, which were excellent materials for making weapons. The fur could be used to make leather armor, and the meat could be used as food. After dealing with the golden armored saber-toothed tiger, Qingchen walked towards the other two beasts. Unfortunately, the fiery demon bird and the blood demon ape did not drop soul beads. Qingchen had to put the bodies of the two beasts into the system space. These are all cultivation resources. At this time, the other people who entered the Tianzu's secret realm were also looking for their own opportunities. Yushan's luck was very good. At this moment, he was teleported to a cave, where there was a table made of stone. On the table was quietly placed a storage ring and a jade tube. Seeing the items on the table, Yushan's eyes lit up and he hurried to the table. Just as Yushan picked up 2 items, a cold light pierced him from behind. "You bastard, put the things on the table down." Yushan quickly dodged the attack and turned his head to look behind him. A young man with pockmarks on his face suddenly appeared in his eyes. At this moment, Qingchen, who had finished counting the harvest, had come to a hidden stone cave. Sitting cross-legged in this stone cave, he then took out the seven-leaf agave from the storage space. Picking off the fiery red leaf, Qingchen threw it into his mouth without any hesitation and chewed it. The taste of agave is quite good. The fiery red leaf melted in his mouth and turned into a sweet juice that Qingchen swallowed in one gulp. He quickly practiced the skills and absorbed the essence of this holy medicine crazily. A few minutes later, Qingchen's body began to glow and became crystal clear and bright. The red gold seed in the dantian also turned crazily, almost growing a circle at a speed visible to the naked eye. Qingchen felt that he had a deeper understanding of the laws of heaven and earth. He could even clearly feel the fire element in the air. Then his aura rose, and with the help of the holy medicine, he easily broke through to the 9th level of Lingwu. Is this the holy medicine? It actually made me break through so easily. Qingchen felt the powerful power of the 9th level of his Lingwu realm and couldn't help muttering. In fact, the biggest function of the 7-leaf agave is to increase the warrior's understanding of the laws of heaven and earth, and the increase in soul power is not much. As for the life and death of human flesh and bones, it is just a rumor. Even if it is a holy medicine, different types have different effects, but even so, the spiritual power contained in this holy medicine is enough for Qingchen to break through a small level. Putting away the agave with only 6 leaves left, Qingchen quickly walked out of the stone cave. It's time to go out and find Yushan and the others. At this time, Yushan had already fought fiercely with the pockmarked man. As the saying goes, enemies become more jealous when they meet. Yushan and Qingchen both remember the ambush vividly. This pockmarked young man named Yao Qinggu wanted to kill the two just because of a small conflict. How could Yushan not be angry? The golden-backed longhorn beetle's spirit instantly possessed him, and a dazzling golden light shot out from the spiral horns on Yushan's head. He immediately launched a killing move.